Very good morning, students. Today we are going to learn some more basic different terminology using in our Opencast Mining. Particularly, this is the basic concepts to understand what are the different terminologies encountering while deepening our Opencast subject. Now, it is a lecture of E. Karnakumar, HOD Mining, Government Polytechnic, Uttarakhand, Department of Education, Telangana State. Right? Where you go to different basic concepts about the surface mining. It is a 50 minutes lecture. In that one, the mode of the lecturing is the median exploration. Right. Coming to the recollecting the layer classes terminologies you already are about depth of the hole, spacing, button, toy, crust, and break. These are already covered in earlier classes. Then coming to the basic object of this lecture is that these I am going to be explaining one by one. Number one is define the terms of angle of repose, haul roads, stripping ratio, economic cut value, variable limit, pleasure mine. These are the most of terminology encountering by the Opencast mining system. Except pleasure mining is not related to the terminology, but it's a matter of we already covered earlier classes. But as per syllabus, I think it will be. So define the term within that terminology. Angle of repose is one is important terminology. Without your understanding angle of repose, the entire system will be collapsed because you study the character of the material, you study the boring nature of the material. Otherwise, the formation of the benches or formation of the walls, the big challenge if ignoring the angle of repose. And coming to the second definition, the hall road, the key of the and actually backbone of the any open cast because the depth of the 100 to 500 meters depth of the open cast system, you carrying the material is the only method is that by transport to contours. Sometimes there is a high angle weight conversion something support, but nowadays most of the 80 to 90%, the haul road mechanism, haul road transportation is the backbone of the transport system in the open cast by movement of the HAPs, heavy machinery. Different capacity. Maybe from 16 tons, the simplest way, lorry, you can say, to valves, 20 tons capacity valves, to 120 heavy PHL and well developed pumpers we are using presently. Some mines in the market is 400 tons. You can imagine that type of haul roads. How to design that much of weight traveling in the haul roads? It's very detailed model, but it's traffic control, the speed of the vehicles. Uh, Moreover, it is not in a straight roads. These are the roads is different from the regular usage highway roads. It's not highway roads. It is the haul roads. Haul roads is a helical in nature. The speed is not controlled. The curves and also junctions. So this is the backbone of the open cast system. We are going to learn in this part. Stripping ratio. So you are also already aware that the OB removal versus the wall. This is the one of the influence factor of the stripping ratio. And another economic cut value. So small angle of stripping cause small angle of is influencing the entire open cost burden will be happening because if one angle will be changed automatically entire system of patient system will be changed. So that I going already explained, but here is also given. and quarrable limit. What is the mean limit from which to which, and also the other methods. These are things we are going to be discussing this slide. Then angle of repose. The basic definition of angle of repose is when a loose material, the loose material, when the loose material, when the loose material subjected to the setting over the ground, the slant edge marks some angle with the horizontal, and it is known as a angle of repose. Once again, I reading. When the loose material subjected to settle over the ground, slant edge marks some angle with the horizontal. It is known as a angle of. This is the basic definition. It varies the characters of the material, like border size, hardness of the material, coherency, and wetness. So I show the one figure here, the angle of repose. It's a material to material, it will be angle will be changed, but stability is very important. Stability is very important. Here I showing this simple dump material to find this fiber size. Okay. Right. So you see here. So this is a particle will be falling that will slant inside. This angle is called the horizontal. This angle is called the angle of repose. So by definition, again once again I give it here. Definition of angle of repose, the angle, this is the angle, that plane of contact between the two bodies makes with horizontal and upper body in the just on the plant point of the slide. The angle whose tangent is the coefficient of friction between the two bodies. This angle between the tangent between the tan theta. It is the coefficient of the friction between the two bodies. So this is very important parameter in the slope stability, bench angle maintenance. This is a very essential. This is a very essential factor for the bench design or slope designs. So one more slide I showing same. The, but the more explanatory purpose. Here also you can observe this is the angle. This is the power in the material. So some angle it will be settled. So that angle is the angle of repose. Angle of repose. See. So we can earlier we show that this is the angle, but this is also horizontal. This also can be can show the angle of repose. This is quite opposite to error figure. So here we're showing this one. So you can get here is also angle. That is also called the angle of repose. So you see that this is the beta is the angle of repose. The other is also the angle of repose. A mathematical calculations purpose you can explainable thing. That's like friction. Friction problem you can be easily explainable. Similarly, angle of repose also you have to explain this. This is defined as the angle which an inclined plane makes with the horizontal such that body kept on just starts to move. This is as a friction definition also similarly like this. So defined as the angle which an inclined plane makes with horizontal such that body kept on just start to move. So here a block is there just to move the block downwards. So that angle is called angle of repose. There are also some of the friction is there, some block movement depending upon the friction activity, some load movement. Which force is required? The F force will be always against the downward force. So these two are equal, then this is not moving. If the downward movement more, less it automatically down. So here we have to fundamentally we can use two forces acting. One is a horizontal force and is a vertical force, and opposite side the reaction is also there. So this is called as a theta is making here. this theta. That is a mg is the body weight. So that sine theta is the horizontal direction and cos theta in vertical direction. Mg cos theta and mg sin theta. Mg cos theta is in the vertical direction. Mg sin theta in the horizontal directions. The block's moving. The F equal to mg sin theta. There is a force in the direction. Similar R equal to the mg cos theta. So theta is the angle of force. This is a simple mathematical problem from the friction. We can calculate the theta, this theta angle, the angle of repose, how much maintained for the particular point things. Now coming to the here, same I can explain over here. The angle of repose is a theta. The theta is nothing but mg minus a theta vertical force mg sin theta. So these are the, again explain really explainable things. So that one second I show you here. So normal force, under normal force or reaction force, they is equal to mg minus theta. Mg sin theta equal to frictional force. Now the complete calculation I showing here from the understanding level. So now you can see the here mg cos theta is a vertical force. The mg so sorry, we are using the alpha. In previous slides we are using theta. There is no difference here. Here I am using alpha as an angle. So don't confuse between theta and alpha. Both are same only. Just for the sake of the calculation purpose, the making it like this. Like this. Maximum angle, the maximum angle of inclination, maximum angle of inclination, maximum angle of inclination that such that a block placed on it remains at a rest. Okay, that is so already earlier slide seen that force equal to mg sin alpha, that is equal to mu s n, that is a mu s is a coefficient of friction and n is the normal force, so that is almost equal. Similarly mg sin alpha equal to nothing but coefficient friction versus, so n is the reaction, or n is just nothing but mg cos alpha. So that is f equal to mu of s into n. So here therefore sin alpha by cos alpha equal to, we can take this cos alpha into left side. So automatically the mg will be cancelled. That is a mg is nothing but the weight of the block. So tan alpha equal to mu s. What is the mu s? Coefficient of the friction angle, coefficient of friction. That is a, so rainbow is equal tan inverse coefficient of the friction. So nothing but mu s is equal to tan alpha. That is the coefficient of friction equal to tan alpha. Alpha is the angle of this one. So you can get alpha is coefficient of friction is versus this one. So this is simplified angle of repose calculation for the sake of the calculation. How much angle we are maintaining, how much coefficient friction is required. These will be friction. So coefficient friction is one of the important factor. The which material, which how much angle will be giving the coming slides. Angle of repose. The minimum inclination of the minimum the minimum inclination of any plane to the horizon such that the body resting on the inclined plane tends to the move down the plane. Then this minimum inclination of the plane is known as angle of repose. We will explain that. Now coming to application part. This is the actual field application part. Field application part. Rock and debris falling. Rock and debris falling. So this is the actual angle of repose of this material. How much it will be falling is, so the material up to the angle of repose. So I show you another figure also here. Modified slope. This is the original slope. The angle of repose. This is the angle of repose. So this material is slide down, 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 due to the Reason of that material sliding nature, the fry fissures problems, and other grain size, inner bonding nature. These are the also influence vectors of characteristic. So it will be material store stability slope. Slide some from the deposits. So this is the angle of force impaction. This is the angle of reaction inflation. How much sliding is until the remain material will be reach the without moving. That is up to that is called angle of force. I will showing you one more slide. Angle of force. This is the one more example. This is retaining. Sometimes you are using most of this part will be coming to the hilly areas, particularly in the temple hilly areas. Example, Vijayawada Kanakadurga temple. Go through the Konkan railway areas. So retained wall is how the maintained retained wall is also very important. Otherwise, if the retained wall is not there, how much level it will fall in is also here I showing this. This is the first retained wall is there, retained soil is there. Which is soil. The angle of repose of the other materials. If retained wall is not there, the complete the material, the soil will be fall. So for soil behind the angle of repose falls without wall. So for example, if it's not wall is not there, this much of material will be falling because of the retaining the angle of repose is this much of. So what are the excess of angle that will be simply sliding over the this of angle. So how much the angle? That is we are already so alpha is equal to tan inverse. Uh, there is a coefficient of friction. I'll show you one more thing here. Slope angle less than the angle of repose. Slope angle is the less than the angle of repose. Remains stable. If the slope angle is greater than the angle of repose, automatically fall. The simple example here, here the explainable things we have observed here. The slope angle should be equal to the angle of repose is a fundamental thing. The slope angle of the page, the slope angle of the what are the walls you are to maintain. The slope angle of the material is powering. This should be equal to angle of repose. If the slope angle is more and that angle of repose of the particular material is less, automatically what are the difference of the much of angle that will fall. Here is clearly here mentioned here is shown. This is the angle of or angle of bench is maintained is vertical. It is a, for example here see this is the angle of maintained slope. But actually angle of repose is the so this much material falling automatically. So this is a here complete conclusion of angle of repose is the slope angle less the angle of repose, the slope remains stable. The slope angle greater than the angle of the slope angle greater than the angle of repose. The slope angle greater than the angle of repose. Mass washing will occur. Mass washing will occur. Then Then modified slope, original slope. This is the original slope. This is the angle of repose. The modified slope. This is the original slope. This is the angle of. This is the angle of repose. This is already we are covered there. Okay. So escape. Now coming to the angle of repose in degrees, which is the best one? Which angle is good for that? Which angle is uh, which angle is which angle is not fair, which angle is possible, which angle is poor, which angle is very poor, which angle is very, very poor. So these things will be showing here. The raw property angle of repose here I am showing here. 25 to 30 degrees. The 25 degrees is very low. That means is automatically can understand. Low angle is the best for the sliding, not slow. So 25 to 30 degrees is excellent angle of repose. And 31 to 35 degrees is good. Fair and not needed, the 36 to 40. From possible may hang up, that is 45 degrees is the 41 to 45 degrees. Poor must aggregated and vibrated. 46 to you increase to 55. It's a dangerous. It's dangerous. Very poor. 56 to 65. Very poor. Very, very poor. More than 66. So by seeing conclude that when wherever going see sir whether the slope stability yes if it's 60 more than 60 the possibility of this running is more very 56 65. So it can conclude the 45 below is the better from the 3 points this year better to 45 below more than 45 some risk based things. Now, what is the rock type and the angle of repose? Loose sand. Can you see loose sand? That is 30 to 34 degrees. That loose sand will be 30 to 30 degrees. Generally, the angle will vary. Loose sands with the clay, 37 degrees. Similarly, wetland 22 degrees. Soil clay, 40 degrees to 45 degrees. So see the loose sand, 30 to 34 degrees. Loose sand with clay, 37 degrees. Wetland, 22 degrees. Soil clay, 40 degrees to 45 degrees. Broken rock, 34 to 40 degrees. So different type of the material here I am showing here. Loose sand with the wetland, soil clay, broken rock. So depending upon the property of the rocks, and depending upon the character of the that soil, that angle will be maintained. Now, so I repeat pictorially one more slide is showing here. So, so by sand 35 degrees it will be stable. Dry sand more also stand by 35 degrees. So if more than any other power that will falling down. Coarse sand will be more angle as possible. So pebbles will also water saturated sand will be like this. So this is the first example of the angle of reposes. Yeah. So this is also one best example of a rainy season. Less than the angle of repose, slope remains stable. Slope angle greater than the angle of repose, the mass washing will occur due to the rain or something. So one more example for this one angle of repose. Dry sand. Dry sand cannot support an angle more than 35 degrees. Dry sand cannot support an angle more than 35 degrees from the horizontal. This is a term, the angle of repose, and also coarse sand 45 degrees and coarse grain and more angular material supports steeper angle of repose. Here, angle of pebbles is showing. So fine sand, coarse sand, angle of pebbles. Then we go to the second definition, that is the haul roads. So already I told that is a backbone of the transportation of the in open cast. What purpose in haul roads are meant for the moving of the heavy earth moving machinery in the open cast. So in around these are not straight roads. It will be helical in nature and spiral. So the going down and up and down. So and also traffic is required. So one haul road for the one-way system and the second is a return system. So you have to maintain the two vehicles moving in the path. So we have to maintain the haul roads in such a way that depending upon the capacity and tire management and the slipper not there, and speed control, and also curve system. The curves is also important. Otherwise, it will be falling down to the. So these are to be considered in the wall road design. These are the provided when the material is at a shallow cover depth less than 15 meters. Nowadays, the limitation of open cast mining is based on the mechanization. Bulk material in mining are transported by the haulage and hosting purpose. Road design is a must. The road design must accommodate a number of factors and expected weather condition. The largest vehicle on the site and the speed of operations are taken into accounts in the design process. The haul truck turning radius, braking capacity, and shear size must be considered in the design of any permanent haul roads. Road design must be accommodate a number of factors and expected weather condition. The largest vehicle on the site and the speed of operator are taken into account the design process. The haul truck turning radius, braking capacity, and shear size must be considered in the design of any permanent haul roads. So here a simple example I showing here by using haul roads. So these are the open cost haul roads. Open cost haul roads. So see here. So this is a simple haul road. The vehicle is moving here to here. So go and for dumping purpose, the metal is taken towards upside. So you have to maintain this. The curve is also maintained is required. If any in-front vehicle is coming, they have to need to sufficient clearance. And also the junctions. There is some side junctions are there. So if the vehicle is coming this side, and this side is the junction, and some vehicles are coming this side. So junction you have to maintain junctions for the required. So haul road design is the one of the key backbone of the open cast transport system. So that is very important. I'm going to next slide. Here is a very example, typical example I'm showing here for the haul road. So two dumpers are there here. One is the incoming and is a going outside. One is the inside. And also sometimes they're using a pilot. The moment the persons who is observers, that is the manager or supervisors can be travel their own jeeps. So that is also separate. The haul roads never no vehicles allowed then except the supervisor's vehicles. Supervisor vehicle will be also the separate maintained here. So come here, see that the AB, AA is center to center and BB is the clearance to the boundary to the vehicle and also middle to middle and is also middle. So you have to maintain the B is a similar way. So A is equal to width of the widest truck using road. So here to here is the distance, basic width of the road. And capital B equal to half width of the widest truck. So we take it the A into half. This half should be in the left side. This half should be in right side. So for the two line traffic system, road width should be 3.5 times wide truck width. So two line traffic road width should be how much? 3.5 times. So 3.5 times wide truck width. So this is a thumb rule. This is a basic rule of the any haul road design. For two lane traffic, the each road should be 3.5 times the width of the truck. 3.5 times the. For example, is 5 meters. Then we take is a 15 plus. That is 17.5. That is a thumb rule of the haul road design. Is coming to the curved nature. Wherever the curved nature is there, the vehicle will be coming like this. And so these are the curves you have to maintain by use of the horizontal curves. The curve angle is how much radius you have to maintain. how much speed we have to control here. So some factors, the curves is also consideration. This is a transaction, non-transaction period. This is the bend. So they have to design such a way that the vehicle should not be due to the centripetal forces or centripetal force cause the vehicle will be falling outside. The vehicle may come inside due to the wrong designs of the curves. That should be considered the effective way. More hard roads you have to design. I showing the one simple picture of the real open cast. These are the managers, I think. So they are moving here backside of that one, but it's not permittable. The separate is required. Sometimes when the traffic is not there, they are also moving. Here there is a trucks. Both trucks. One truck is incoming, another is going to inside to the mine outside. This is going outside. The metal is collected and going to outside to dumping place. Similarly, the empty truck coming to the in front to that one. This is the distance. The distance would be the 3 ton of times of the this width of the vehicle. So one more picture I showing here. This is also elaborating this. So here is a single vehicle is coming. Yes, this is a single vehicle coming. So this is also showing the haul road, how to haul road will be there. And then this is a complete picture of the that open cast haul roads. So it is moving like this inside the area. So one more picture I showing. This is the traffic here. You see, observe. This is the traffic area. This water sprinkling completely due to the hardening of the floor of the haul road. So one vehicle coming to the inside the mine. One vehicle is going upside. Here is a junction is there. Some junction is showing there, and also it is curved in nature. These are curved. So you have to design such a way that the width and moving of the vehicles in traffic junction also. So here very clear. It's coming down. The vehicle is ready to loaded and ready to go in. This is the junction, and some vehicles are going inside to outside, and also the other asset is also there. There is open cast working continued activity. So some work is going on here. The shovel. So this material can be loaded and taken out to the dump yard, dump system, where the dump system is provided by the managers. So this is the clearance of all roads I'm showing here. Right here showing that. So here is a complete dimensions are given here. So 3.85 meters. This is there. Overall, the practical design width is 21.5 meters. So this is a simple calculation. This is a zero point 0.5 meters other drainage or water pipelines or something is there. So the overall width of that one 3.5 hours, 3.5 times of the width of the this is a complete width of the haul roads. Similarly, that is in a line diagram I'm showing here. The line diagram. So here is very clear line one. This is the line one. It's the line two. 25.6 meters total width. So here you can observe 3.5 on the other side, and then 7.5 is the width of that one. And 4 meters clearance is there here, and 7.3 is there, and 3.5 this side is there. So total from this point to this point 14.8 meters, and from this to this point is 14.8 meters. So overall width of the 25.6 meters. Simply we can calculating also like actually 7.3 multiplied with 3 plus 3.5.1 plus 1.5. So 26 point, almost 25.6 We'll get it into calculations. Point of it is 7.3 multiplied with the 3. We will get the and add the and another half. That is almost 3.5 point 3. We will get it the answers. So that is a design of the all road length from line 1 and line 2. Now the curved nature already it's a very also one important aspect because most of the mine is a spherical and curved nature only because all roads are no direct distances not available. In such conditions, you have to centrifugal force and friction force are active. Velocity also important. Radius of curve. So these three, the factors are very influencing on vehicle. So see that the vehicle, the dumper is going on, the speed is velocity is going on, the centrifugal force acting is one, the friction force acting. So such conditions, super elevation angle is also important. So more angle to be maintained, the speed is a more. If the speed is limited, you have to maintain the berm in such a way that. So these are the important factor while designing the haul roads. Also showing the junctions traffic system. So these situations are occurring in so many of the open cast mining because of the different designs are going on. So this is the main junction. This is all all roads are meeting one point, and sometimes they directly one point is meeting to the main road. That's the main, and sometimes it's a junction is also there, particularly the entrance level, wherever entrance is there. So there, these type of junctions are encountered. Sometimes this is the main, and again sub will also come in this. So these are the different types of haul road junctions and things. And coming to the, this is the slight distance at vertical submit curves. Slight eye level or eye vehicle is there, but kind of vision is not there here. So objective will be here. So you are unable to see that when this type of accidents may be happen. So that should be avoided. That should be avoided. Then this dumping is one of the figure. I'm showing here what are the dimensions of different dumpers dimensions. How it will be influencing that one. I show you here two rear wheels are modeled. These are the distance between center to center, curl width, and or rare 12 type width. So this is also one of the influencing factor for the design of the hot roads you have to consider. So overall, the overall road, on the top you can see the helical in nature. So such a way that you have to design the haul roads for proper suitable to vehicle as well as vehicle suitable to haul roads. So haul road design is during the life of the pit, the haul road must be maintained for access. Haul road spherical system. Haul road is arranged spherical along the perimeter wall of the pit. So coming to the different type of speed surface cycle continuous. So these are the vehicles, other vehicles are there. So now I am conclude the hard roads. Now I going to the next simple. There's a stripping ratio. Stripping ratio. Stripping ratio is a general expressed in terms in proportion of the overburden of coal or mineral removed. As the depth of the overburden increases, more amount of money is spent for the removal of the overburden for exposing the mineral body. Coal and time will come with when the mineral or coal cannot become economically extracted out. The point behind which the mineral or coal cannot be economically extracted out is called the break-even stripping ratio. So these are two important definitions of the stripping ratio. This is the ratio between the overburden and mineral. If the depth is more, automatically the wastage of the removal is more. So it should be economical when the coal versus the stripping ratio should be economical nature. Then only after once break of the wastage is more and coal getting is less. That is over what is getting coal. So economic stripping ratio is very important while designing of the angle of the slope of the uh, benches or overall bench of these. So it is volumetric expression in terms of amount of ore burden removed for the unit of ore removed. All values are expressed in solid means, and it is a practical value depending upon the actual figure handed or during the mining activity. Stipping ratio is equal to volume of OB removed unit volume of the ore recovered. Now the standardized things, the ratios, how much is the standardized ratios are there. The manual mining, it is a 1 is to 1. In the semi-mechanized, it is a 1 is to 1, 1.2. In mechanized, 1 is to 3 to 1 is to 40, 10. Highly mechanized, it is maybe 3 to 1 is to 10 to 1 is to 20. So depending upon the mechanization, like high mechanization means manual means they're not using drilling and blasting manually loading. These are the influencing factor. Semi-mechanized means they're using the transportation is some mechanization. So automatically you have to cutting speed will be increasing. Mechanized, completely fully mechanized. In case of the all the explosive drilling and blasting is going on in a fast in way, so automatically dumper size will increasing, automatically loader size increasing. All road widening is required. Movement of the vehicles. So depending upon the mechanization of scale, it is the stripping ratio will vary area to area. So what is the mean by cutoff value? It is the limit of to which extraction of the mineral can be carried without ensuring losses. Usually, the figure may be obtained by the comparing cost of the open cast mine with the cost of underground working also on the basis of production cost and saleable cost. So, cut-off value, economic cut value is a some point of view. The sharing value, marketable things. If 2,000 per ton, the 2,000 per ton in the market. So, 2,000 rupee of value you have to works you have to distribute. That is a economical or uneconomic. So that is one important economic factor of competition. Quarry limit, it is a very important. It is a limited of open cast mine. When the reliable value of metal equalize the running cost of the mine, in other words, it is a limit for the removal of OB economical. As the depth increases, the handling cost of the OB increases enormously. So that then there exists a limit for the economic cut of the OBs. So angle is very important. Otherwise, quarryable limit is increased. In later classes also we are learned that if angle is more, so what happened? The quarryable limit is more. The optimum limit of the quarryable limit is essential. Hence, the saleable value is constant, then the economic limit can be extended up to the point when the running cost, open cost mining, balancing running cost of the under. You should be comparing that. In another topic, another important topic in this terminology, placer mining. The placer mining is related to the placer deposits, particularly seashore area. Indian Rare Earth Limited company will be extracting these in some dredging corporation. The placer farming, most of the coastal areas, these type of the placer deposits, in that mining is called placer mining. Placer mining is deposits are formed by the mechanical process. They are derived from the weathering and disintegration of the mineral, breaking the rocks and veins, followed by the transportation and concentration of the freed mineral by the action of running water. They are they are there of course usual located where the velocity of the water is slank. So placer mining is one of the subclass. It is for the surface mining, intending for the recovery of heavy minerals from the main alluvium or placer deposit using water excavated, transported, and concentration. Sometimes they are using air jet, water jets, weathering process also, solution mining, that leaching process also. You can extracted this type of minerals that may be slurry using water, liquid soil. Yes, this is decreasing the carrying capacity of the river and streams and result of setting volume loads which will consist sand, gravel, pebbles, etc. Example, gold and platinum tin is the this type of deposits can be extracted to the placer mining process. So now I am going to concluding the slide shows. This is a majorly your study in the upon angle of repose, haul roads, uh, We have discussed about angle of repose, haul roads, stripping ratio, economic cut value, quarry limit, and pleasure mining. So I hope that you are all getting understanding the basic concepts of the basic concept of angle repose and haul road stripping ratio. Now I am going to some quiz. This is some related to the your competitive examinations. So when you were passed out, some of the questions may be arising in the quiz format. That means in objective types, or in ESET examination, or JMT Junior Mining Engineering examination. You can be encounter this type of questions. So model I will given the one question. The standard value of the stripping ratio used for manual mining in India, whether it is 1 is to 1, whether it is 1 is to 2, whether it is 1 is to 3, or whether it is 1 is to 4. So generally, already we discussed in previous slides in the for stripping ratio. 1 is to 1 meant for the manual, right? 1 is 2 for the semi, 1 is to the mechanized, 1 is to 4. Mostly these are the not suitable. So 1 is to 1 is simply for manual mining for using. So depending upon the nature of the highly mechanized, so we go to 1 is to 10 to 20. So that concept you should be borne in mind. So accordingly, you can be answered, right? Now these are the things. You go to assignment, some assignment on the pleasure mine, right? The some assignment on pleasure mining. You collect from the net what is the pleasure deposit, how their extraction techniques. You should be take his assignment and submit to the next class. So now you're getting the examinations of frequently asked question in the definition of the angle of repose, haul roads, stripping ratio, economic cut value, QRB limit. These are generally frequently asked questions of the your board examinations. Right? Now I am going to conclude. Thank you very much for the listening and understanding that one. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you very much.